Michael, you have an intention for us?
My intention for this young group is that the friends feel complete unity with each other, and that they won't have any thoughts of feeling for themselves or desires for themselves, but only wanting to fill the desire of the friend and fill them as a whole, as one together.
L'chaim.
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 So what do you guys want to talk about today?
How do we not judge the thoughts that the Creator gives us as good or bad, so as not to create emotions about those thoughts, and to be able to live in none else besides Him? Is that too thick of a question?
You tell me? I don't know.
Well, it seems like all of our trauma and drama is because we judge everything. And so I'm wondering, how do we develop enough faith or enough sense of none else besides Him to where we don't have to live like that anymore?
I'll spin it, okay? You see if you like it or not. I'm supposed to work constantly on raising the importance and being in a state of ascent, seeing everything as good, everything is advancing. But I have certain thoughts about a certain friend. Not just about everyone, a specific friend. Derek, look at him. Derek, look at you. We're singling you out today. We found out that Derek, behind our back, has been slandering, not just slandering in general, slandering me personally. He's been telling everyone that I am this and that, and that, you know, who the heck does he think he is, and da-da-da-da, and I mean, it was mean. I'm supposed to be as one man and one heart with Derek, and not only that, we're supposed to be one man and one heart in our whole 10. Can we do that now that I feel this way about Derek? Let's start by saying, what does that mean as far as I'm concerned with Derek? That's a state of descent. Why? Do I have the importance of a friend here? No, I have an importance of someone I hate. How do I bring back that state and constantly remain in that state and not relate to everything that's going on, the thoughts, the desires, the rumors, the things that are going around, and concentrate on just raising the importance and staying in a state of importance always? Now the ball's in your park.
Well, I think so. I think you should thank me. Now I've given you something to work with.
Thank you.
I think we're supposed to always remember the love of friends and remember the goal, because the hate will rise. And that will become apparent in our corporeal senses. And this is exactly, I think, the task of getting involved in the group, to have us something, give us something to work with, to flesh it out. And this is how we create the creator among us. If you're going to have the kind of personalities where you like everything everybody says and everybody, there's nothing to do. And so I think everything that the creator does is good, even when I'm bad.
How do I justify and raise the importance of a friend when I have the opposite feelings towards him?
To always judge the friends favorably. Justify the creator.
We're in these kind of states of ascent that we can think this is an opportunity to turn to the creator. And it's hard work getting out of that descent, but it's an opportunity to turn to the Creator and ask for Him to take us out of this by raising the importance.
So, hi, Gary. Hi, Linda. Are there no limits to what the friends can do, let's say, to us or in a meeting or in our lives before we say they're not good? And we try to get away from them?
I don't think the question is whether there are there boundaries of what we do and what we don't do in a group. Yeah, I mean, it's like we understand the kid could be out of control sometimes, and that. But when he starts running around with a knife trying to stab people, it's probably a little more out of control than we would like to let it happen, right? That's where we're not letting him test his boundaries at that point. And in a group, we have very strict guidelines. Why? Because we want to have a perfect environment. We have a very clear goal here. So if I'm not trying to ask about the, what the act was and whether it's reprimandable or not, or, when do we, take matters into higher authority and ask for help to fix those kind of issues. I'm talking about my attitude, right? Derek was mean behind my back. He was saying mean things about me, and I know about it. In my face, he's like smiling to me, like, "Oh yeah, I love you, Zohar. Yeah, you should thank me. Yeah, we're buddies. We're friends on the path. There's none else besides him and all that." But I know for a fact that behind my back, he's saying things that, I can't even mention them here because Galen is very sensitive in her ears, and I can't do that. But I know this. How can I possibly right now say all the things that you're saying? Oh, love your friend as yourself. What love you? And the son of a gun, the way he's behaving behind my back, and what kind of attitude do I have towards him? And yet I'm supposed to see him as the greatest of the generation, to raise the importance of this friend. He is the goal. He's the means to the goal. He is, without the connection between us, there is no ten, there's no Kli, there's no light, there's no creator. You see, there's a very significant issue here. I know you guys are giving these, quick answers, like saying, just judge them to the scale of merit. Yeah, but I assume you've had situations with someone that, that really gets under your skin, and I'm not talking about fixing it on the policing level or something like that. I'm talking about the fact that I have that feeling towards a friend. Let me ask you just yes or no. Can we even function as a 10 if there's two people in the 10 that have that feeling towards each other?
You have to get over it. Because what you see in others is really a fault in you.
Well, anytime two people have a one-on-one anything in the group meeting, it wrecks the connection. They can do oral Torah if they love discussing a topic back and forth and excluding the rest of the group. And if they're fighting, that's even more distracting.
You can't, the rhetoric is great, words are great, but they do nothing. I can't say they do nothing, but the fact is that it would be very nice and say, gee, I'm angry now. Now I'm not going to be angry. I'm going to look at this and look at that. We don't function that way. We have emotions, heated emotions, and anger and hatred on one side, and you have love and forgiveness on the other side, and you're trying to bring them together. And sometimes you just got to do something mechanical. Like I thought I heard the Rav say this, or I saw it somewhere. Just keep repeating, there is none else beside him. Say it 50 times. Just do it. 50 times over. It's a mechanical thing. It's faith above reason, maybe. It's not a logical thing. How's that going to change it? But it may change the energy, the vibration, the frequency. Something's going to change, and you might begin to perceive things differently. But if you tune into the anger and the hate that's there, you're just going to attract more of it, and you're going to bring everything. It's going to grow and grow and grow. So, and I think I saw this somewhere that Rob had said this, and it's like, we call it affirmations, but you say this over and over and over, and it begins to, it has an effect. And he's saying that try it, see if it'll change this thing. And then you begin to feel differently. I'm sorry to take so much time.
Yeah, if I may follow up on what Gary is saying, I think that's very applicable in the sense of the group. But I think, if I'm not wrong, Zohar was asking about in the corporeal world when it happens, like you said, it happens every day. So, but is the reaction different when it's from among the group? Do we handle that? We confront that differently because the other person, the only action they can comprehend from you is total submission from their egos. I mean, so dealing with that on a group level is a different kind of spiritual process of spiritual growth, is it not?
Eric and everybody, I was just thinking that because when we meet virtually with our friends who, with the same, our Kabbalah friends, we don't get into fights, and we don't feel that like our egos need to be annulled, as opposed to in the corporeal world when you're dealing with people on a daily basis, and corporeal friends and family. And to me, Kabbalah is kind of like when you meet once a week or a couple, it's like going to church on Sunday if you compare to religion. And I really feel like, yes, this gives us a really good practice and basis and guideline, but I think we're supposed to be trying to annul to everybody, and that we meet on a daily basis, and even annul in our minds and our thoughts, take over. That's all.
How can I annul before the store clerk and my neighbor and the woman at the DMV and the policewoman or man that pulled me over for speeding, and and who else?
The husband or wife or partner that doesn't understand what we're doing, doesn't understand what you're doing, gives you a hard time. Even worse than that.
We need to concentrate on our 10. That's what we need to concentrate on. Instead of getting into a whole conversation about it, that's where we do our work. Do you need to include the whole world inside of you and the whole universe and everything that was ever created? Yes. But it's too big of a task right now. Right now, you need to concentrate on creating a kli, a 10 sfirot inside one kli. That's where your 10 is. If you could create that. Now, if you have a problem within the 10, back to the discussion here, I have to annul myself before someone that I feel, we were in the Congress, Galen gave me a hug, but I saw in the mirror behind, she was making faces like she hates me. She wasn't like really hugging me. In front of me, she was hugging me, but in back, she was making faces like, it's like, I can't believe I have to do this. And it's like, I saw it. I can't unsee it, right? I'm kidding. Galen gave me a hug, and it was like the best in the world. But you get what I'm saying? Once you felt something, you saw something, you saw that, it's there, right? It's a transgression. It's a sin. It's a dissent. It's a dissent in the form of importance of friends. Immediate, right there. So what should I do? Should I sit down? Okay, group, let's sit down and talk about this. I think Galen was wrong and I was right, and we're going to have to do a circle. And until we agree that she was wrong and I was right, We're not leaving this circle. Are we going to ever resolve it that way?
So this is what's sometimes referred to as a state of spies.
A what?
State of spies. When a friend is harboring these kinds of thoughts, like there's these foreign alien thoughts creeping into your emotions. I think Rob called it a state of spies. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I feel like the spirit is not overtaking you. Like there's these corporeal senses that are guiding you. You know, you're not in a spiritual state, so you feel these things about a friend.
Possibly. Let's just call it what it is. It's a descent. I don't have importance right now. I'm coming to connect, but I don't feel like a connection with you. I'm actually feeling that I'm supposed to make you guys. We've been through this already enough times for you to know what does it mean for me to connect. I have to make you important. You have to be great. I have to know myself and all that, but I can't. I keep picking on. I have to pick on someone else. Adam said something about me. What do you mean he's great? He's not great. He's the son of a gun. How can he talk about me that way? You know, or he disagreed with me. I don't know. Whatever it was. You know, it's like no matter what it is, you realize it doesn't matter what it was. It was an action that made me look at you as lesser than you are. By the way, I see you all as lesser anyway, naturally. We're making this work of making friends great, right? Our job is to greaten the friends, to make them the greatest, and make myself a 0 and them a 1, and making them my upper 9 and me the malchut. All of that. It seems like theoretically it all sounds great, but when I have that kind of a situation and I have this one-on-one, or even 1-on-4, or 1-on-7, it doesn't matter on what. There's now a so-called stumbling block in between us that seems that is causing trouble. And the reason we're even bringing it up, because we heard about this in the lesson this week. This was something that, was brought up to Rav, and Rav kind of really put it down and said, what do you mean? What are you going to do? Sit around and have a conversation and try to figure out who was right and who was wrong? No one is right, no one's wrong. The Creator sent that to you. In fact, you know who's to blame? The Creator. He's the cause of it. He sent you this, and the way we started this, Derek said something. He said, you should be thanking me. I shouldn't be thanking Derek. I should be thanking the Creator for giving us this opportunity. Now I have something to rise above. What Linda said, it's beautiful. Oh, we never quarrel in our tent. It's so nice. We just get together and we just love each other and everything's great. Do you guys remember what Rav said in the Congress in North America? What if something doesn't happen if you don't get up every day and there's this, it's not considered an advancement day. What was that thing?
Problem.
Thank you, Creator, for remembering me.
Right, but what was it that I need to have every day?
Problem.
Problems, right? Now I have something to work with. If not, you forgot me. Thou hast forsaken me. In every other religion, we think it the other way, right? And it's like, oh my God, you gave me a problem. You forgot me. No, he gave you a problem. He thought he remembered you.
So that's why Rob every other week will start doing something that to me, pisses me off, makes me angry. And because it's like the opposite of what I learned the week before in my mind. It's like, oh, okay, now I know what it is. We're getting some problems here. Otherwise it wouldn't exist. Our 10 works really well, and but now that we're integrating with the larger Kli, there's a lot of problems in getting the flow, that connection, that feeling of connection that you can have in a 10. But then when you're trying to do it with 40 people at once, it's a lot harder. So yeah, I see what you're talking about. Does it have to be that way? Do we have to have problems? The Kabbalists have to create problems so that we'll grow?
I don't know that the Kabbalists are creating the problems. I think the Creator's creating what you call problems.
I liken it to a situation that I read about this morning where if you don't want to be president of the United States, then you don't have the problem of campaigning. You know, it's like the problems that the Creator presents to you sort of go hand in hand with your spiritual growth. It's like if you want to see problems, try to get more of your life. If you want to see the face of the Creator, then the work that you're going to do is going to naturally bring these tasks from the Creator. So if you have no problems, it's an indication that you have no desire. You're just happy to sit there like a rock and let life go by. But the minute you make a move to try to gain this spiritual ground, you're going to open up new cans of worms. And I think that's how the Creator leads us, you know?
That's a great segue. That's a good question. I know you didn't realize, but that's a question. What, you know, why is it that that getting obstacles every day, getting problems every day, getting these stumbling blocks are actually, you know, so important for our spiritual advancement?
Because it's like lifting weights. As you lift weights, you add more weight to it. I mean, you do a certain amount of reps one week, say with 100 pounds, the next week you add 10 more pounds. You do another 100 reps. It makes you stronger. And it seems like the problems get tougher also.
It's common in religion that it says that the Creator never gives a soul more than they can bear. I read it in so many different religions.
Okay, what is wrong with, all right, well, what is like the difference between annulling to the group right now and just sitting here and agreeing with what you say? Because I still feel like we should be practicing annulling our ego 24/7 if we can do it. So, but I know that contradicts what you just said, Zohar.
Why does it contradict?
Because I thought you said that we don't need to think about the corporeal part of it because that's too much, and then we should just concentrate on the 10. But our 10, because we don't disagree that much, we don't have the opportunity to nullify our ego, other than right now because I'm disagreeing with you.
Didn't we talk about this? Was it last week or the week before that? We talked about what it means to annul in a workshop.
We did. We talked a few weeks ago about that. Yes, that you don't just patronize, don't just agree with everyone. But you don't criticize another.
Imagine that. My opinion and your opinion have a place.
Yes. Okay, I get it.
Remind us what the question was. Someone.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that the Creator sending us obstacles every day is actually help?
He wants us to advance.
Everything has meaning to it. Like even if it's you think it's not even close to nearing what the Creator is about to bring you could be the absolute most lishma kind of thing.
And to expand our desire for the goal, and to expand our awareness of evil, the darkness as well. I think it's part of the growth process, like a rubber band. You got to stretch it. You got to keep expanding it.
Well, it's been said that what happens isn't what's important. It's how you react to what happens. In other words, how do you take it? Something happens, this terrible thing happens, somebody cursed me or did something totally unfair or unjust. How am I going to react? Or am I going to react to it? Am I going to attempt at least to take a breath, think about it, and employ a little, can I call it Kabbalistic thinking? And it's coming from the Creator. There's a reason for this. It may not be as it appears to be to me because of my limited perception. If I can begin to incorporate that and keep in mind there's none else beside Him, maybe we'll begin to make some progress in that. But, you know, it's a way of looking at it.
If you guys would indulge me, I want to read one sentence, if I may, from the article by Balu Salam called "The Freedom." One line, it says, if I may, it says, "This is because drawing the right conclusion depends particularly on the multiplicity of disagreement and separation between opinions. The more contradictions there are between opinions, and the more criticism there is, the more the knowledge and wisdom increase and matters become more suitable for examination and clarification."
Thank you, Derek. We have 1 minute to go, but I'll just say this. There's none else besides Him is very easy to just say, and everyone says it. There's stickers on bumper cars and whatever in every place that you go. But this is a state that in a truth that we need to attain. It's something that is not just a matter of lip service. There's none else besides Him. Galen made that face at me. Oh, there's none else besides Him. No, I don't feel that way. I could just kind of act it and fake it and say, oh, there's none else besides. But the bottom line is that everything we've been talking about it's because of our shattered perception. Because we're part of this shattered vessel, what ends up happening is that we see things in fragments and we're not seeing them in the right order, and we're not seeing them what causes what and what leads to what. I think that I was doing great, and then the Creator made a mistake and dropped some bomb in my way and did that. What I don't see is that every time the Creator is preparing me for the next step, He gives me the exact obstacle I need to overcome in order to be able to advance on that. I don't see that from that point of view. I always see it from the point of, oops, it's like, things were going so great. Why now? Like the Creator got the timing off or something like that. I have the timing off. It's my perception of timing that is off, not the timing of the Creator. The Creator is perfect. He's always sending us exactly what we need. And it's, I think, I don't know if it was Derek or Gary or someone said it. It's not only an obstacle; it's an obstacle specific. It's like you're given the exact thing that you need, and you're like, well, but I was right. Yeah, right. No, you weren't right. The Creator gave you the perfect opportunity to make a correction here, to do something, and you're standing on your Pharaoh's holding you up there and saying, hey, you're right here, and the Creator's or everyone else is wrong. There's no such thing. There's only one truth. Don't believe in yourself to the day you die. What seemed like true a minute ago is not even relevant. It's just what's right now. And right now, the Creator is sending me that state. And so I don't remember how Adam formed that question right in the beginning. It had to do with ups and downs and bumps and this and that, and how feelings that come to me this way or that way and all that, and how do I still stay true to the state and not relate to those things according to how I feel about them. I think this discussion kind of really covered that. It was really, you understand that the state that you're in, whether you're feeling good about something or bad about something, it's pleasurable or painful, it feels good or feels bad, those things are completely not the way we guide things and the way we react to things. The Creator is constantly giving us everything we need to advance, and we take those things and work with them. Where do we work with them? In the 10. But I want to learn how to love the whole world and unalter the whole world. Okay, learn how to do that in the 10. I want to see the whole world is corrected. Yes, see it through the prism of the 10. But I want to get along with everyone. Yeah, learn how to get along with the 10. You will see that that is going to affect everything. Rob said something phenomenal this week. And although we hear, it's not the first time I've heard it, but every time I hear it, it's just like, it blows me away. If we could correct the 10, it's not that we would change our perception of the world and it would appear different. The world would change. We would actually be changing, making a new world just by fixing the way we see the world. That's a little challenge for us. Make us realize how small we are and how big we are. How big we are because there's such a responsibility on our shoulders. The fate of the whole world depends on me. Secondly, I don't have the forces to do this. I have to somehow throw myself in as a rag into the 10, annul myself, do all those things, and do everything I can for us together to be able to build a Kli where the Creator could bring His light and correct us, and thus correct the whole world. I love you very, very much. And I didn't say anything bad about any of you behind your back.
Love you too.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the lesson, friends.
Thank you, Zohar. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, friends.
Thank you, Zohar.
Bye, friends.
Adios.
Bye, friends.
Oh, look how your friends show you who I really